All right, so my brothers, we living in a crazy time where
Most
this,
definitely.
this pandemic has set up here and ravaged our country, but not only our country, the world. Unemployment is at an all-time high. Unemployment is actually paralleling Great Depression rates from 1929 right now. But I wanted to get into a topic that might help some of our viewers realize that they don't have to allow the pressures of this time to get them down and be toxic towards their families. But before we get started, along with myself, Apocalypto Joe, and my boy Roscoe Brown, we have a guest today, Lawrence Big House Davis. Say what up to the people, bro.
What's up, Warheads?
Yes,
What's
sir.
up?
Yes, sir.
That's right, baby. And so we're going to get into some information that hopefully can bring people to a better mental disposition as we see our system spiral and maybe get some personal control in their homes and in their communities. But
Yeah.
it's some information I wanted to go over before I pass the baton to you, brothers. It's 9 tips from rich people. And I'm going to go through this real quick. But it says first, save, then spend. So this is dealing with prioritization. Don't be afraid of failure. Sometimes you got to think outside the box and do something you ain't never did before. Build multiple income streams, even if that means doing some Uber or taking that second job, which I don't suggest, but there's other ways to make money while you're sleeping. Become an expert of your own field, just knowledge base. Learn everything you can, become a sponge. Invest in what you know. It's better to do that than invest in what you don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
Focus on the big goals. I think that's one of the 48 laws of power. Intensity always defeats extensity. Stop the consumer rat race. I think Jeff Bezos has made a mint during this pandemic, because so many people are just at home buying, clicking and buying because there's nothing else to do. So save your money. Always invest in yourself. That could be your health, your mental health, reading, gaining knowledge. That's a whole slew of things that you can do to invest in yourself, getting in shape, you name it. And use your money wisely, which means you might have to pinch pennies. It's okay if you're not running around here flossing in the BMW. It's okay to drive a Chevy. It's okay to drive a
I
Kia.
got one.
Real talk.
And so to get started, there's an article that we're drawing off of that I found on happiness.com. And it's an article of how to be happy if you're poor and don't have enough money, and 15 easy tips. And to start it off, I want to defer to my man, Lawrence Big House Davis. What you got for us, baby?
I got appreciate everything you have. Don't harp on the things you don't have. So that can include your health, mental and physical. It can include shelter. You don't have to own your home long as you got the home to go to. And that don't mean, it's bought or paid for by you, as long as you have somewhere to go. You know what I mean? And food, long as you can eat, keep your health up, your strength up. And just basically whatever you got. It don't matter what it is. You just appreciate the little things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it could be anything. I mean, you could want a car, but you got to transfer. Appreciate that transfer. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
So that's the first note. You gotta appreciate what you got, and don't harp on what you don't have. That's the main thing. Don't harp on what you don't have. Just appreciate what you do have. You got your health. You got even like me. I'm not in perfect health. but I still got my health. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that. I
Right.
appreciate the fact that I can get up and do things. You
Yeah.
know, I'll give it an example real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, oh man, I can't think of his name, so I ain't gonna worry about that. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, just live it up to the best of your ability.
Right.
Period.
Right,
Right.
right.
I could vibe with that. I guess point two for me, it's going to be basically about knowing that our current circumstances are temporary, which is something that's very important. A lot of people, they get caught up in thinking that whatever bad situation that they happen to be going through at the moment is going to last forever, and it's definitely not. Especially people who have some type of faith in God. If you have any type of faith, you should know that the storms, they come, but they also will go. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's basically it. It's just knowing that the bad times, they won't last forever. Basically.
Right. I got on the third point that we're going to hit up on, practicing self-care. And self-care is coming from a place of not just physical but also mental disposition. You have to wake up every day with a positive outlook on life. The dire grimness of the world can have a huge bearing on us, but we want to sit up here and practice self care. And that can be, looking good just for yourself. It may not be just to look good for that woman or that guy that you might find attractive, but that personal care comes with, food. I know when I eat bad food, I feel sluggish. I don't want to do anything. But when I start throwing them green leafy vegetables inside my gut, them proteins, I'll be feeling like I can do backflips again. Could I ever do backflips? Anyway, that's the point. Anyway, Big House, what you got, baby?
Believe in yourself, like you believing in yourself with doing them backflips.
Right, right.
You got to have that belief in self. Before you believe in anything, you got to believe in yourself. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that speaks for itself. There's no more else to be said about that.
Right, right.
Amen. Amen. You know, I guess for me, this is a strange one. Well, not a strange one, but for some people, it may be a little different, but still very useful, I think, for a lot of people. And that being point number five, and that's to look for inspiration in books.
Yes.
Surprisingly enough, you'll be surprised and what kind of information that you'll end up finding in some of these situations. I know, because I've been a person who's been through some bad times, so it's kind of hard to tell somebody who's kind of out here in the street a little bit to go read a book. You know what I mean? It's like, when am I gonna come across a book? But me myself, I actually, like, I would go to the library. You know what I mean? Like, like me, I've actually been homeless. You know what I mean? So in times where I was just kind of out here, I would actually use these times to, like, go to the library or something like that. I didn't have nowhere else to go. So when it came time for a library to open up, I would use that opportunity to not only pick up on information that I could use to help better myself, but just all kinds of information was available. So yeah, just go look for a book, for some inspiration to better yourself.
Yeah, I could smoke a bag of that. The sixth point that I wanted to dive into that will help you, once again, with that mental disposition, is helping others. You'd be surprised what's around the corner when you try to be an active member in your community. Beautifying the community is one way, but also helping other people.
Mm.
You might ask, like, I'm poor. How do I help other people in my community? Well, there's a few ways that might help. And what this does is it raises your endorphins. Anytime you do things for people from a genuine state of mind, not because you're looking for some type of gift. Sometimes you give just for the sake of giving.
Giving, yep.
And so that's what we have to keep in mind. But you can sit up here and help the elderly people in your community. You can sit up here and actually be a listening ear for someone else who may be having a hard time struggling in this time of COVID. And don't do it to try to help them unless they ask you for help. Sometimes people just really need somebody to sincerely listen to them. You'd be surprised how much of a spirit booster that is when you're just listening to someone. But what do you got for us, Big House?
Summer 7.7. Uh, do fun activities. And to piggyback on what you said, fun activities can go over into helping your community. You know what I'm saying? Just being a part of an event as simple as getting kids together to play tag in this day and age can be a fun activity, and it could be a booster mentally for somebody that's out there that's suffering. You know what I'm saying? So doing fun activities, there's a million and one ways that you can do something that is fun, and you don't need money for it all the time. All you need is time and patience.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's all I got for that.
It's
No,
funny you say that. It's funny you say that because like when we were kids, we would create our own games. We didn't have like the full playground or anything. We would create our own go karts and create other different games. So it can be done, and we are living proof. We have the experience. I'm sorry, Roscoe, for jumping in, but it just made me
no,
think about some things.
no. You all good? Because I was about to piggyback off a Big House myself, and just to talk about the having fun, the importance of it. One thing is it just kind of takes your mind away from your current situation, whatever it may be, whether it be good or bad. It's good to have some sort of escapism, So yeah, I think it's good from that aspect as well, But just to go into what would be what do we have, the eighth point, which would be to repeat positive statements. And you wouldn't believe the power of words, or basically hyping yourself up, if you will, but you want to give yourself positive affirmation. You want to be able to tell yourself, things that are gonna stick. And because of mind over matter or whatever uh, mental properties or things that have to do with that, how that affects you. You want to still be able to do these things because it does have an effect. Speaking life into yourself,
Mm.
as opposed to people use the statement speaking life into other people. But you
Yeah,
can also do that same thing with yourself. So
yourself. Yeah,
I think just positive affirmation, and giving yourself, complimenting yourself, telling yourself that I did a good job. I feel like I did this good. You can do it. So positive affirmation is the way, man.
Once again, I couldn't agree with you more. I'm gonna go into the number 9 point, and that's associate with like-minded people, but not only associated with like-minded people, find people who are in the same station and people who don't have the I guess the materialistic overbearance of stressing out over what they don't have. A lot of happiness comes with content. You can't be looking at the person who's driving around in the Mercedes Benz or the BMW and feel like, oh, I wish I was over there. Sometimes being content, you can build up to those things, but being around people who are content, that are like minded with their contentment, that way you don't have a bunch of people around you saying, focusing in on what you don't have. Doing that can boost your happiness and your contentment and bring those endorphins up once again so that you feel free to express yourself around these individuals. And truth be told, You're not alone. The thing of it is, a lot of these people who do have nice cars, and I know, they have debt up the wazoo. So they look one way when they're driving through the community, but they have hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. And so always keep that in mind. What you got for us, House?
Uh, Number 10 would be set realistic goals. Now, this is very important because like you were going in with the like-minded people and everything, you got to have goals, and you got to have people around you that have goals, but they have to be realistic. You have to set a goal and you have to meet that goal. Once you met that goal, you will feel fulfilled, like you were saying. That releases. I'm not going to copy off you with endorphins, but it's going to make you feel good about yourself, you know. And the more you do that, the better you'll feel, and the more you will achieve because you're not self-doubting. You know, you're not pitying me. Oh, pity me. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, this, oh, that. You could just set realistic goals, small goals. You meet one, then set another. And then you can reach the sky that way. Before you know it, you will be the person driving that Mercedes, but you ain't got that debt. You know what I'm saying? If you just stick to those little goals, eventually you will hit big stuff. You will be content. Even if you don't hit big stuff, you still will be content because you're fulfilled. You know what I'm saying? You're not worried about nothing that way. And that's all I got on that note.
Yeah, no, that's good stuff, bro. That's good stuff. Point number 11. The budget, save, and splurge. Um, weird three words to put together. Well, the two budget and save, they go together, but splurge afterwards. Interesting, but yeah. That when you hear that, really that's basically all about just as these two guys they talked about already about just not trying to keep up with the Joneses. You know what I mean? Knowing that it's okay to, instead of having the top shelf item, you know, you could go for the bargain brand, you know what I mean? And that's okay, you know, and it keeps money in your pocket. So, you know, to be able to budget and save, to know how much intake and outtake is happening with your finances is always a good is number one priority, basically. You know what I mean? You want to keep on top of how the flow is going with your money. So knowing how to spend, being aware of the spending when it's happening, staying on top of that, you know. But when those two things are happening, when you're budgeting and saving, you know, you'll have enough to be able to splurge, you know. So you know, I kind of live in that model, you know, where there's some aspects in your financial budget where you may cut on this end to have a greater gain on this end. So you can be fluid in that. So yeah, I think that's the main thing, is just to do that.
I hear that. Number 12, we're going to bring it home with stay active.
Yeah.
That means getting outside, even if that means doing jumping jacks on your porch, but you can run, you know, you can do some exercise, walk the dog. Once again, I know Lawrence didn't want to piggyback off my word endorphins, but it does raise the endorphins. These happy chemicals actually mean something, but just stay active, however you choose to do it. What you got for us, Big House?
So meditating, I need to do that more myself, honestly, because meditation is good for your soul.
Yeah.
And I know that because I've done it on occasion, and I don't incorporate it enough in my life right now. Again, stealing from Joe V, it releases endorphins.
Mhm.
Because it, it's spiritual. It makes you feel good, and if it's done correctly, it elevates you. So that's just my 2 cents on including meditation in your life, because it can do nothing but help.
That's a very valuable 2 cents.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I love meditation. I do it. I do it, at home or, kind of when I'm out and about amongst people. You know what I mean? I'm able to kind of shut down while I'm still operating, if you will.
Yeah, yeah,
You know.
Yeah. And just to piggyback before you take the baton, Roscoe,
Mhm.
meditation is akin to prayer as well.
Yes, sir.
hmm
I'm going to just leave it at that. Pray to who you
Mhm.
want, but, raise your spirits up.
yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. No. I guess my next point would be about journal. And to kind of make a journal and your happenings, your everyday, if you will, or just while you're in the midst of your turbulent times, if it's something that'll help you kind of just to kind of detail your day, is actually a good thing from the perspective of just to see where the waste is coming in. You know what I mean? That's something that I actually do a lot of. You know what I mean? I compartmentalize my day a lot. You know what I mean? So yeah, just I kind of make a mental journal, if you will, but kind of documenting in a physical form, a journal is probably a good thing for a lot of people. Like I said, to kind of make a detail of your day is something that'll also take your mind away from things, help you focus, if you will. So I think that's the most important thing of all those things is when you're writing these things down, it kind of lends to a focus and gives you you can kind of see what you're doing. You know what I mean? And kind of how what you need to do and not do with what you're seeing at that point. So yeah, I think journaling is or making a journal is a good thing while you're going through these situations.
that's good stuff, bro. On the last point, I'm going to draw off of the 48 Laws of Power by Michael Green. Law number 29, plan
Robert.
all the way to the end. And that comes with prioritization. You have to sit up here and put the things in the necessary order in order to get it done. You shouldn't be erratic and sporadic. You should totally have something you can focus on, but also know what the beginning of your day is going to look like and what the end of your day is supposed to look like, and be able to tackle any of those unseen things that kind of creep into your day and get rid of them as quickly as possible if they don't serve you. And so, I guess at the end of the day, this is a time to close ranks with those in your circle, in your community, start a co-op, start to do a lot of different things with the people, like we said earlier, who have a like-minded perspective on things, and you'll be okay. You won't feel like you're on this island all by yourself in this hard economic times. Is it anything that you brothers wanted to add to the conversation before we get up out of here?
Just I'm 100% with that like-minded people, man. That is something that I have to preach every day to everybody. You have to get together with people that are like-minded and goal-oriented. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I got to say about that. Just link up, for real, for real.
Any shout outs?
Um, I guess for me, yes, yes. Let's throw the L's up, man. We gotta throw our L's up, man. We lived it, so You know, me and House, you know, we throwing up our L's for our legs. So we definitely gotta say what's up to all of the guys who here and ain't here.
Yeah,
The ones who ain't here, D, Mouse, we love y'all dudes. Y'all will never be forgotten.
never.
Um, the guys that is here, you know, Spango, Smiley, who else you got, House?
I
Yeah,
got the whole tribe.
yeah, the whole tribe, man. Gotta shout out those guys, all that, man. So love
Yep,
to all that.
yep. That's it.
Well, before I get up out of here, I got to give a shout out to a friend of mine, Alunda. She got me this shirt. Always be yourself unless you could be a Jedi Master. Warheads out, baby.
Warheads out.